For the first time since June 12th, the Firebirds and the Bravos are facing off again, this time here at Doran Park. I'm Allie Navarrete alongside Cam Manna and Matt Scalzo. And Matt, today we'll be seeing Marcus Morgan on the bump for the Bravos. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, Marcus made his first start a week ago exactly today, similar to Liam Doyle, and they both had very similar starts. And then we saw yesterday Liam Doyle have a bit more control, didn't dish out as many walks, and Marcus had a very similar stat line. He comes in with a 4.50 ERA, went 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, but he also had up and downs with controls. He had 2 strikeouts, but it issued 3 walks. I expect him, similar to Doyle, settle back in and have a bit more consistent start here today.
Meanwhile, one thing that has been completely consistent for the Bravos is Derek Bender in the lineup, and Cam, for the first time in forever, since he's been here potentially, Bender has the day off.
Yeah, so he will get the day off today, but I think the good thing what we've seen from Bourne is that game where Bender went 0-4 here at home, the Braves ended up still winning that baseball game, so they've shown they can win without Bender. Bender's completely human. He's had a few tough games, but the off day is important for him. Big month of July, this is kind of where the wheels start turning and the games start to get more important, so a good off day here early on for Bender.
Meanwhile, Orleans and the Braves, like I said, have not played since June 12th. Matt, so many differences from then to now in both these teams.
Yeah, you look back at that meeting, and Bourne was still looking for their first win of the season, and now you come here, and they're above 500. They're second in the West Division now after last night with Wareham taking a loss, so they jump up above them. And Orleans, meanwhile, they kind of had a slow start to the year, but now they're starting to figure things out. Both teams are right around 500, so it's 2 teams that are starting to click at the right time as you head into the month of July, and that's something we've preached on the entire lead-up, is getting hot as you turn into July. And both these teams are hitting their stride right as we head into July, and there's still a lot of very familiar faces. Johnny Olmstead, who was the difference maker in the first meeting for Orleans in that 6th spot in the 3rd inning, he's still in the lineup, and there's a lot of guys very similar that are still in the lineup for Orleans, but you look at Bourne, and we've touched on all the new faces so many times, but there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences in 2 teams hitting their stride.
In hitting their stride, Cam, is there any player on Orleans in particular that's caught your eye?
Well, you look at their lineup, a lot of guys that have been hitting the ball very well, but I like their bullpen. Daniel Avita is second in the whole Cape right now in strikeouts, 0.47 ERA. So if Orleans can compete in this game and, have it go to the 8th or 9th inning where they have a lead, that's why they've won so many games. Their bullpen, a guy like Avita who's pitched very well. Right now, the strikeout number's very close to being the number 1, right around 19. So if they can get to that point where he's out of the bullpen, they could be in a really good spot tonight.
We'll see if the Bravos can take the game off the Firebirds. First pitch at 6. Here pregame with Garrett, Michel of Virginia Tech. Garrett, last night you were kind of the hero in that game with the walk-off walk against Hyannis. Can you talk about what was going through your mind at that at bat?
Well, I went up to the plate and we had bases loaded, 1 out, so I was just kind of trying to put a ball in play. I mean, they had the infield up obviously, so I was either looking for like a pitch I could hit with like a deep fly ball or just something to make people move around and try to make the run score, but he didn't really give me a pitch to hit. Kind of threw at my head actually, but it was awesome. We won the game, and that's what matters, and we'll try to keep rolling from there.
I was going to say, today you have the opportunity to take on Orleans. The last time you were at Orleans, you were pretty successful. I believe you were our player of the game, if I remember correctly. How are you guys feeling about taking on the Firebirds again for the 2nd time this year?
We're good. We're ready to go. Granted, we didn't have really our full team the first time we played them, so now we have everybody here, and we're ready to go. We're trying to get rolling again, trying to keep the win streak alive and just take it 1 game at a time.
During that stretch as well, you guys started basically all on the road, and you've been here since the beginning. Can you talk about what it's been like to play at Doran Park, having some games in and actually having a home environment?
It's a lot nicer. We get home earlier, you get to bed a little bit earlier, but it's also nice being able to play in front of your own fans. It's cool because you like everything you do. They're always engaged, and they're always like cheering you on, and it's awesome. It's a lot better at home, obviously.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.